is enough, and it's time for a change!
Are you ready?
It is Sunday, and you're listening to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast.
Give me a hell yeah! If you some love!
Ooh, yeah! With Kinny Killa.
Hey yo! We're in the big D tonight, baby! And we are live! Woo!
I'm the Goddamn Sugar Shoe.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be! Cause that's the bottom line! The Stone Cold Sexer!
Hello everyone and welcome to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast. It is Sunday, it's episode 47 and I am the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the one man with no Instagram, Kinny Killa. And you know, I'm always kicking it with the hashtag tech guy, the Welsh wizard himself, the Goddamn Sugar, Sugs.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, and we have the return of the best tag team in the world, people. King Bingus is in the building.
Bingus?
Or is he? There he is.
King Bingus is in the building, people.
I am here.
Always good to have you, brother. And also the master of the top rope elbow, Mr. Steve Dawson.
Yep, I'm here. Me and my unsexy voice.
Steve, how's it been, bro?
Yep, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I started on DDP yoga this week, so I'm feeling good. Had a few workouts there. And going around to my sister's today for lunch, so, yep, some good stuff happening.
You need to send that over to me, bro. I need to be limber and shit. I need to sort myself out. My back is messed up. Bingus, how's your weekend been, bro?
Packed, mate. We've got, I just had yesterday my daughter's first-year-old birthday party. Holding a party for a 1-year-old plus many more kids, man. It was like a zoo. It was, And like the war zone that's left in my house is just like debris from kids just everywhere. Everything's sticky and
oh god. I feel your pain. I got that gonna happen in a couple of weeks with my son's second birthday, so I feel you there, player. Shugs, how you been, man? Good weekend, good Valentine's Day.
Yeah, man. I just been chilling. You know, I got a week off this week, so just gonna relax. And, you know, just get my shit together.
Okay. Steve, we have found out, you know, who Paige Martin has been talking about. She has now revealed herself on Twitter, so we put a face to the name. She's saying that, you know, Yorkshire boy, our head of fan relations, James Powers, he's the sexy voice, as she's been saying. So, yeah, interesting, innit?
Yep. It wasn't me. I didn't think it was.
But I don't like the way they've been going on at you, bruv, about the beat the clock. I don't like that, man. That's not fair. That's not fair.
Oh, yeah. We'll see when it happens. Don't count me out.
Yeah, a month from now, March 16th, Steve versus James 2. It's like Froch and Groves. It's on again, people. Just yeah. So alright, well, let's go into the Twitter, you know, Twitter sphere. People, make sure you follow us. That's at Sunday Segue. Segue spelled SEGUE. Also, email us, please, about anything you want. That's sundaysegue@gmail.com. You can also listen to our old episodes on YouTube, iTunes, Podomatic, and thanks to Shugs, you know, the hashtag tech guy has now put us on Stitcher Radio, so big up Shugs on that one. And you can also find us on that Double Twist player. Now, before the shout-outs, I just have to read out a quick statement regarding our message board. So one of our, you know, favorite seg heads out there, Clara O, she received some unwarranted cyberbullying on our message board, and I just want to say right now that we apologize to Clara O, and we do not tolerate any form of cyberbullying on our message board or anywhere. So just please make sure all the seg heads, you watch out for this and make sure you let one of us know if any unwarranted comments have been put on there. It's not nice. This guy, John Smith, he came online and he decided to personally attack her, nothing to do with wrestling, and we do not want that whatsoever. So with all that formal speaking on the side, I'm going to start with a quick rant on this guy. So, John Smith, or whatever your name is, I heard you've been out there doing this before. You attacked her personally. You never needed to come online and do that. Everyone is here to have their own opinion for the same love of this business. This is why this business is amazing, because everyone has different opinions, okay? But what you did is not nice whatsoever. And as far as I'm concerned, yeah, I don't know you, but what you did was dickish movements, fam. So you're a dickhead. Straight. That's dickish movements, which equals you're a dickhead. And I can say 10 times worse, but I'm not going to stoop to your level, alright? You're sideways moving waste, man. So it's just, and if you don't know what that means, look it up in a fucking dictionary. Shugs, you got anything to say?
Nah, I'm just, you know, obviously you get these people, you get these internet trolls, or you get these people who want to hide behind their keyboard, and, you know, obviously coming with an alias of John Smith's, so he's obviously not that much of a big man, because otherwise he'd be saying his real name and, you know, telling us what he thought, you know, really. So he just, you know, stay hidden behind your keyboard, stay under your little rock, and just, you know, stay off the message board. You side man.
There you go. Alright, so we're going to move to the shout-outs now. I'm just going to do a quick shout-out to all of the people that have been very vocal on the message board about this situation. So, Simon Burrows, Paige Martin, Hannah and Louise Layton, the twins, John Thompson, Ellie Bishop, Lee Noble, Billy Shave, Georgia Moffat, Brian McVie, Bradley Clemens, Des Rudden, Stacey Turner, Lacey Slater, yeah, all of you. There's much more, but all I got to say is thanks for the feedback. We all feel the same way about this fool. Roxanne Devine, yeah, you know, Ashley Brewer, thanks to all of you. All right. So now Twitter. Quick shout out to, sorry if I can't fit all of you in, but shout out to at 1 Hour Tees, at Akron WWE, Wyatt Bowen, Sarah Veronica, at G Hardy Fan, at X Luna Bella, obviously Paige Martin, back, at Connor Weatherall, and at Mike President. There you go, all the shout outs. Yeah, there you go. That's all the shout outs. Shugs, any shout outs?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to, you know, our sometimes member, sometimes host, Mr. Jason, you know, Jason Clarkson. He was doing a bit of wallpaper stripping yesterday, and he went all Shawn Michaels and dropped off the ladder and fell onto his mum's, like, finest china. After I stopped laughing, he did carry on the message and say he is alright because I didn't stop to ask. But, you know, get well soon, brother, and, you know, be careful. You shouldn't be stripping wallpaper stood on one of those little rickety tables, you know. They show this on the adverts. Get a proper ladder, bruv, not one of them ghetto ladders, a wooden one off your fucking granddad. Come on, man.
Oh, God. Steve, any shout-outs?
Don't think so. Hi, Mum.
Bingus.
If we're going that route, I'm going to say happy birthday to my little girl, Isabel.
Happy birthday, Isabel. 1-year-old. There you go. Yeah, shout out to, obviously, our head of fan relations, James Powers, and also Brendan Finney. Give a shout out to Tim Vicious, Ollie, Ben, who else are we going to give a shout out to? Vicky Earls, all of you. Kylie B19. Alright, there you go. Okay, so, with all that out of the way, let's get into Raw, people. Segment 1, which was Authority and Orton again. So, we basically start off Raw. Betty White is hosting. She comes out, you know, talking a little bit ghetto, saying she's going to kick some ass. Then, Triple H's music hits. Because he's the gamer. And then Big Show gives him a nice stare down. I love that. Oh, lovely, lovely stare down. And the crowd give Betty White a nice pop, which I like. Imagine if they just booed this old lady out of the building. That would be so cold. That would be so cold. But Shug's fucking Authority again in the ring. Can't Creative do something else? How would you have started Raw a little bit different?
Well, I remember back a few months ago now, and the shows are starting the same way, and it was like Daniel Bryan coming out every single show with the yes chant and coming down and then calling out somebody, and now it's just seems like every single Raw starts the exact same way, with an authority section, you know? And not even like none of them start with like even a match and then the authority section or something like that. It's just the same way. This like fucking paint by numbers booking, you know? They come out, they set the scene for like the episode, and then it just goes from there, like, and it's just, I don't know, it just seems a bit, it is a bit repetitive now, and it's getting fucking boring.
Another one, Brian comes out again, you know, no matter how much we love him, he comes out again to a massive pop, Steve. But was he needed for this segment?
I'd probably say so, yeah, because the way they were talking about all the elimination chamber people, and I think having Brian out there, he was the most most over person in the whole match, and yeah, like Suge was saying, it's so boring having the authority out there every week at the same segment. I think having Brian out there helped the crowd wake up.
Okay. Further on in that, you know, we get an announcement. Cena versus Orton, number 582. Oh gosh. Bingus, like, why are we getting this again? Like, we only had it like 2 weeks ago as a pay-per-view match.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, with Orton having to run through his chamber opponents, like, obviously we're going to see him and Cena go up against each other. You know what? Do it now before it's closer to the pay-per-view. Get it over and done with. Maybe we'll end up forgetting by then. But yeah, this copy and paste shit, like, I don't understand it. If you got crowd reactions like you do when you put Cena and Orton in the same ring together, like, it's risky doing it. Like, I wasn't that thrilled about hearing it, but, you know, maybe the match would turn out alright, maybe something would happen special, you know, let's wait and see.
Let's wait and see indeed, but throughout this whole show, they just built it up again, using the same copy and paste stuff that they did for the Rumble, just to give it like this big match feel, but it's not a big match anymore. Like, it's not nowhere even close to being the best, you know, a good match anymore. I mean, if you say in CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, then we're talking, okay, build up from ROH up, you know what I'm saying? Oh, God.
No, even if it was a dark match after the show, I bet you people wouldn't stick around to see it, for sure. They'd get the early train home.
I need to catch the train, dog.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Alright, let's get into segment 2. The Wyatts versus Mysterio and CodyDust. Steve, did you see much improvement, you know, in this match from the Wyatts as a team standpoint? You know, from a team standpoint, did you see much improvement?
I just love the Wyatts. Last couple of months, I've just really gotten on board with them. I'd actually go out and say, character-wise, they're the best stable in the last 10 years. I absolutely love them.
Alright, that's, you know, everyone's kind of getting on it now, man. Everyone's getting on it. They're doing well.
Yeah, just everything about their look, their in-ring, like the way they wrestle, just screams money to me. Their gimmick is fantastic.
Bingus, what's your thoughts on CodyDust and how, you know, they could build to a good Mania match against each other if that happens?
I think it's going to be quite a predictable thing with, you know, wrestling and tag teams, that there's going to be some disagreement leading on to a match at Mania. I can't, you know, they'll probably bring in Dusty and like makes some shit personal, you know, maybe like a favourite son, or, you know, Goldust, like maybe like bring in, I think they touched on it a few years ago, with Goldust being a bit fruity and not, you know, being of a right mind, and they're not being too proud of their son and brother wearing gold makeup and a wig and all that. It might go a Guerrero Mysterio route, you know, out of respect. Like, we just want to see who's the best here out of us two. Either way, the match itself is not going to be a bore fest. It ain't going to be the piss break, is it? No. Just hopefully the lead will do the match justice.
Yeah, hopefully. That's if we get it. We've had Goldie come on Twitter saying, "No, I'm not facing my brother. Time has passed." Like, how many times do I have to say? But, you know.
Yeah, don't get me started on him saying shit like that.
End of this match, Shugs was wicked, man. Blind tag, alright, by Bray Wyatt, and he caught Mysterio on the move and gave him a horrible Sister Abigail.
Yeah, I just thought, like, obviously we had the Sister Abigail into, like, the barricade on Daniel Bryan, you know, and that was great. And then that's what he needs to be able to do, like, you know, because we've seen him just, like, hitting this move, you know, in the middle of the ring and when people are, like, you know, on their last legs. But if he's one of those moves where you think he can just hit it out of nowhere, then it's going to be even more, you know, like, devastating than it already is. And, like, it looked just like he killed Mysterio, really, when he did it, you know?
Mysterio was such the right height as well. It
Yeah.
was just like, I'm going to catch you. And, like, he caught him while he was, like, bent knees. His knees was already bent as he caught him. It was just like poetry in motion.
I think says so. That's a good sign of a finisher. One that you can hit anywhere. You don't want to play it on Smackdown and you can't hit it outside of the ring. You know, your finisher needs to be hit everywhere. It is a good one.
Oh, good. All right, let's go into segment 3, which was the Shield promo. More genius stuff, Bingus. More genius stuff. How good was this video promo on Roman Reigns, man, to help push this guy?
They're literally making it seem like Jesus is going to fall out of his arse. They're pushing him to the moon and back. And good for him, man. You know, at first I thought it was going to be an Ambrose show when they first appeared. But yeah, Reigns has surprised me, and he's got, like everyone keeps saying, he can tick all the right boxes. He's got size, he's got looks, he's got ability, he's got power, he's got speed, you know, he's got the whole package. They could easily put him on the front of a poster and like to push a pay-per-view any month. Yeah, he's got what it takes. Let's just hope he's not going to be one of these guys that, you know, once he gets there becomes complacent and you can physically see like getting lazy, can't be asked because they think they've accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's very young in his, you know, WWE TV career. Hopefully he doesn't put it all to waste, man. Hopefully it keeps on going, builds up to maybe a good, like, you know, Cena long career, 10, 15 years, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, slow build, pick up the titles one by one, and just go from there. I mean, Renee comes in, you know, every time Renee's about, you think someone's going to get their ass kicked, maybe a Wyatt interference, but we didn't get that. Instead, we got Reigns just challenging Ambrose like a boss. Shugs, how important was it for Reigns to like challenge Ambrose like he did, like for the lack of defending the US title in terms of his push?
Well, I think it's good maybe like Roman Reigns doing it when he's talking about it, but it's like when it comes from like Michael Cole and JBL, then it's sort of like they're almost squashing him, you know what I mean? Because to Reigns do it, he's just like sort of like exercising his like place within the group or like calling him out, like, do you know what I mean? But when they're doing it, it seems like they're basically taking the piss, really.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it was good though for Reigns to do it, but not the other way around.
Mm-hmm. Steve, and then we got Reigns, you know, decide to have a pop at Renee, you know, Miss Paquette, and say, "Hey, baby girl." I was like, wait a minute, you called Renee, baby girl. Was that one for the ladies?
I think so, yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
He's a good-looking fella, and I think that was something to get the ladies wet.
But baby girl, though, that word, did he pull it off?
I think so, yeah.
Did he pull it off? Shugs, what other words could he have used?
I don't know, mate. Once he's just gone there, like, do you know what I mean? There's no like coming back after that.
Imagine if you went, "Hey, gal," I would have been, listen, I would have been marking out. Okay, let's go on to segment 4. Santino versus Fandango. No beating about the bush. Shugs, just play my music, man. Just play my music. WWE, man, gave you a chance, alright? We gave you a chance. I stated last week what you did with Emma. Just don't do it to her. Do it to Xavier Woods. Do it to Alexander Rusev. Just don't do it to Emma. But you fucked it. You just gone and fucked it up now. You got this girl coming out, doing her move right next to Santino, and she has now become the comedy act. That's not what we want for her. We do, but we want her to be taken seriously because she is a good wrestler. Now she's going to be known as this comedy girl that's doing something with her arms that nobody knows nothing about. We go back to NXT, you know, on this past week, and she is making Alicia Fox tap out, giving her the Emma lock, which looked sick. But yet we have yet to see her wrestle. We just made her come out look like a fool. with no explanation. And then, to piss me off even more, we've had The Miz, the ball bag coming out. Man, sit your ass backstage. Why are you coming out there, right, on TV, like we want you on TV, fam? Coming out on, picking up the bloody headphones and talking on the commentary. We don't want to hear what you got to say. And you didn't make Hollywood, by the way, so stop friggin' chatting rubbish.
Straight to
Stop
DVD,
chatting
mate.
rubbish.
Straight to DVD, and he's fucking talking about Hollywood.
Don't know. Fool.
They're making another Marine, you know? The Marine 4. Did you know this?
No.
They're making the Marine 4, and they bought the rights to Jingle All the Way. And they're making a sequel to Jingle All the Way with Santino.
Santino. That will be joke. That will probably be joke. But Marine 4?
But only if he plays Santino.
Yeah.
You know? If he's the Santino guy. Not if he is fucking, you know, his real character, and then he's not doing any Santino, you know?
Yeah, the Santino isn't. But Marine 4, imagine.
I haven't seen any of them bullshit
Nor have I.
movies.
Bingus, have you?
Is the question. Would I rather watch Marine 4 or Cena Orton again? I would rather headbutt a corner of a table, to be honest.
Oh my god. Marine 4 in the hood featuring JTG.
Which is the one with, fucking...
Randy Orton.
Nah, not Randy Orton. He
Ted
didn't make...
DiBiase.
Yeah, Ted DiBiase.
Yeah,
is
second one, I think.
Is that 2? And then the third
Yeah.
one's got the Miz.
Yeah.
So the Miz is coming back in 4, so, you know, he must have done well. He must
I actually
have
hold my hands up. I have actually seen the first one with Cena.
Okay, if you've seen the first one, I'll just...
Yeah, that's
which-
actually what it was like.
Which
It
is the Cena film where he jumps out of a helicopter into the swimming pool. Is that the
No idea.
Marine?
That is the Marine.
That's the only
yeah.
Cena film I've seen, and that was enough.
Yeah.
What? Oh my god. Oh lord.
Do you think being in the Marines like a punishment?
Yeah.
You know, rather than getting pushed down the card, you're like, yeah, you're in Marine 5.
Yeah, because it takes you off TV, right? It takes you off TV, and it just gets you out of Vince's hair for a while, so...
But you get a push when you come back because, you know, they need to push the movie. It's like they turn Miz heel and then they remembered he was in some fucking TV movie, so they had to turn him face again the next week.
Yeah, but then Ted DiBiase went from Legacy, went to star in the Marine, and then he was, wrestling on Superstars?
yeah. And then, yeah, literally. Then he's on his way out. He couldn't take it anymore. Oh, God. Alright, that's enough of that. I'm not even going to talk about the match. Let's go to segment 5. Sheamus and Christian versus the Real Americans. Shugs, we get our favourite tag team back together again. What do you call it again? A boot time.
A boot time.
A boot time. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. A Canadian and an Irishman. Lord God. Cesaro and Sheamus were knocking the hell out of each other, Shugs.
Yeah, like this was actually, you know, if you're saying, if you're giving the match out and you're thinking this is going to be some bullshit, but it was actually a really good match, you know? Everyone just went in. I think they just got given the time and they just went for it, you know? I thought everyone in the match looked good, but, you know, especially Cesaro and Sheamus. You know, like, the thing with Sheamus is, it's a bit like Del Rio. He's actually a good wrestler and a really good worker, but the characters they're given on TV are shit. So the time in between actually putting on the wrestling match and every other time you see them, you're like, fucking get off my TV. But when they're actually working and they're in a match, they're really good. So that's the shame, really. And obviously, Del Rio's going to quit because they just fucked him over completely. And Sheamus has just come back, and he doesn't work as a face, I don't think.
Nah, no way.
This happy-go-lucky Irishman who just wants to have a pint after the match, you know, it seems too false. He should just be fucking people up like when he first came.
Standard. Bingus, you know, we had a little in segment interview, you know, in the corner with Christian. And his eye looked banged up, man. I wonder what do you reckon happened there?
I have no idea. It's going to obviously be something he's picked up at a live show, a house show, like something they don't want to talk about. Which is a shame. Like, say, oh yeah, that's, you know, build something from it. Sheamus clocked him by accident in a tag team match, and like build something from that. Make something of your time. Like, the same when like wrestlers get a haircut. They always like, you know, they throw something in like a hair versus hair match, hair versus mask or something. Make something of the real life.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Or they can fight.
Otherwise, what? We're just questioning it. Like, why has he got a black eye?
Mm.
Give us a reason, you know?
It was like when that feud was with Hogan and Ted DiBiase, and Hogan come with the black eye, like he got jumped.
Yeah.
He got jumped. But maybe they can fight for their tag team name rights. About time. Maybe they can fight for that. Christian told me this could be the face of the WWE. How ironic was that? But Steve, what was your quick views on the match?
The thing I noticed most about the commentary in particular, I asked this on Twitter, not many people noticed this, but when it was Jerry Lawler talking about how pale Sheamus was, and then JBL for some reason just comes up with the most stupid line I've ever heard any commentator says. Jerry Lawler's talking about how pale Sheamus is, and JBL quips in with, "Oh, I wonder if he has skin cancer."
Whoa!
Did anyone else notice that?
No,
that went over my head.
It was. I think it was when Sheamus was like getting pinned or something. It was quite quiet. But if you go back and listen, I wonder if he has skin cancer.
Oh,
what would possess you to say that?
The thing is, it's dumb because Bobby Heenan, he used to say some funny dumb stuff, but it was just on purpose, like to be funny, and it was funny. But JBL is saying serious
not
stuff.
offensive like that. That's just wrong.
Oh my god. Like,
it's like, hey kids, you know that thing that killed your Uncle John? Let's talk about that. What the hell?
Yeah. Oh my god. I'd rather, Bobby Heenan, taking a piss out of Tatanka, Tatanka every day of the week, rather than bloody coming out saying, she's got skin cancer. Oh god.
The only way that can be rectified is if, someone big loses a match, Cena Orton, and then JBL quickly goes, AIDS. Lost AIDS.
Yeah. Oh god, man. Right, let's go on to segment 6. Ziggler versus Del Rio. Bingus. How the mighty have fallen, man. Like, how this guy has fallen. Like, this
I hope
was...
we talk about Ziggler, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Of course. Not that page fool. Right. This is the 14th time Ziggler and Del Rio has fought in a year, right? And this one ended quickly and badly for Zigglepuff.
You know what the biggest shame is? They started something on the .com after he got beat on Smackdown. Was it last week or the week before? Where someone lit a fire underneath his ballsack and he was on one. And now that ballsack fire has been quickly diminished. There's nothing burning for him now. Come on, man, please. Is it a shame when you think of someone in WWE and you're like, God, I wish you just went to TNA so you could be the face of something?
Then something's wrong there, then.
Exactly. and as for going, it's one thing, putting him back down a peg again for whatever reason it is, but putting him against Del Rio, everyone knows he is as dull as your grandma's bathwater. We don't need him burying Ziggler, if anything.
The guy come off a concussion and they made him do the kick finish again. Come on, are you trying to injure people on purpose, WWE? Literally. Don't even get me started, because I'll get to that injuring people on purpose a bit later.
I've said it first. Dolph Ziggler, Marine 8.
Batista comes out, Steve, puts Del Rio through a table. Why would we be interested in this match at the pay-per-view? If we've seen Batista bloody take out Del Rio, how many times with this Batista bomb?
We got to give him something to do, haven't you? I mean, that's what Del Rio's been going after Batista for ever since before he debuted. And yeah, no one really wants to see it, but I suppose you've got to do something with him. You can't have the Royal Rumble winner not competing at the Elimination Chamber, but I'll probably fast forward it, to be honest.
But, true. But this guy decides to make stupid decisions all the time, Shooks, because who would have thought it, After the madness Batista's, clothes has kind of been talked about on Twitter, and we've talked about it before, you would have thought you would have sorted it out, but no, Shooks, no. This guy decides to come out wearing some sort of a batty rider.
Well, obviously, what did he used to wear before? Just wrestling trunks.
Yeah, something
and
like that.
now he's just going for the shorts, He's got to change up his look. He's a grown-ass man now, so he can't be wearing those little pants. He's gone for the little shorts, respectable dad swimming shorts.
They look more like batty riders to me. Oh god, the dad shorts. I like that. The dad swimming shorts. All right, enough about Batista. Probably going to talk about his fashion again next week.
No doubt.
Yeah, let's go on to segment 7. Lita in the Hall of Fame. It's got to get a bit of a clap. Steve, how did you feel about her induction?
Yeah, definitely deserved. I mean, I got back into wrestling, had a few years break. I got back into it probably about 99, 2000. And obviously when I stopped watching wrestling in 94, there wasn't any women's wrestling really. I mean, you saw Alundra Blaze every now and again, but nothing really too special. But then Lita came along with old S.A. Rios and just totally changed the game for me.
Yeah.
I think she deserves it.
Video package was sweet as well, man. Video package was nice, except for Michael Cole saying something about she wasn't the girl like she was the girl you wanted to date.
You don't want to take her to your mum too.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
You don't want to take her home to your mum, but you do want to date. It's like your dirty little secret, I guess.
Michael Cole, man. Shut your mouth, Michael Cole. But, who is that, sir?
What about the guy? What's the guy with the long hair?
Michael Hayes?
And he was like, yeah, she wasn't a girl, she was a chick.
Chick.
This guy's a fucking dick.
Oh my god. Yeah, who
I
is that,
don't know,
man?
well, maybe Trish Stratus. She inducted Trish Stratus, didn't she?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they'll just do the old switcheroo.
Screw that. Bring S.A. Rios in to do it.
Yeah,
right now.
This guy would come out and you'd be thinking, wait, who the hell is this guy? Only the proper smart marks would know who that is. Like, how awkward would it be if AJ inducted her, though?
Oh, that could happen. That could really happen.
She inducts CM Punk's ex, yeah? Oh, that'd just be so awkward. That would be so awkward.
Isn't there bare women that is his ex? He's dicked everyone in WWE, isn't he?
Man, he's gone true, man. He's gone true. He's the new school Batista.
Yeah, but just wears better clothes.
Yeah.
See why chicks dig him. Ain't because of the nose piercing, is it?
No.
Idiot.
Any other thoughts on Lita, Bingus?
Yeah, man, I'm well chuffed because, like Steve was saying, I've been watching wrestling since I started watching wrestling, and coming into '99, you had a whole bunch of Sable, you had a whole bunch of Tori, Terry. The Shining Grace was Ivory. She weren't nothing to look at, but she could get it done in the ring. And then boom, Lita comes along. She's moonsaulting, she's Hurricane Rana-ing, she's wearing her thong all high, and I was a teenager. She was in Team Extreme. I was pretending I was Teen Extreme. I loved it, man. I loved Lita. I was all about her. And then she had a really good career, man. And she went out on quite a high, with the bittersweetness of the whole Matt and Edge situation, but it put her career back on track, didn't it? And yeah, she went out on a high, and yeah, she's very deservable Hall of Fame. Definitely.
All right. Well, let's go on to segment 8, which is the Usos versus RybAxel. Should we finally get, a mention of the Usos and the tag titles, because DX came out, New Age Outlaws came out, and they started, talking about them on commentary. So, would the Usos finally go over, after this, what is it, 5th win in a row?
I just think that the Usos...
Yawning about Ryback.
Yeah, fucking RybAxel. But, yeah, I think maybe they're just going to give them the WrestleMania moment, Maybe they're going to make them wait that long. Maybe they'll have a match at the Elimination Chamber, and then they're just going to chase till WrestleMania. But the New Age Outlaws can't be holding on to the belts for that long.
No.
WrestleMania is still a long time away.
But that would be nice, though. A nice, for the Usos to win at Mania.
Yeah, a nice chase. Yeah, maybe. I think maybe the Usos to win at WrestleMania, that'll be a nice little reward for them. They seem like they're getting better. They seem like they're getting into better shape,
Bingus, your Billy had a bad bum bum. What's that shit all about, man?
Oh, move on.
Okay.
Leave him alone, man.
Steve, I'm like right now. I'm really liking the Usos. Like, and I'm just liking the way they come across. You know, obviously, with Jimmy or which one is on Total Divas. You know, always being he makes me laugh on Total Divas. But now it looks like they're getting a bit of a a nice push. But like, are we worried about how the lack of tag teams there are right now with WWE kind of splitting them up? It seems to be.
Yeah, I mean, if the Usos do go over the Outlaws, which I'm expecting, I'm struggling about who they're going to feud with. The only one I can really think of, the only heel tag team, is the Real Americans, and even then, they got some sort of dissension in the last sort of month or so. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them split up. I think they need to call up some teams from NXT like the Ascension. I think the Ascension, even though I'm not too much of a fan of the Ascension, I think they'll do work quite well on the main roster.
Yeah.
Are you forgetting about the 3-man band?
3-man band, baby.
I'm the 3-man band. Yeah. Fucking Wendy's.
That case of when the music's more over than yourself, innit?
You know that, innit? Alright, nice tag though by Usos. That was nice. Man did a plancha over the top rope and, tagged his brother in while he did it. That was a nice little twist there. Mm-hmm. Alright, so let's go on to segment 9, which was Ambrose versus Mark Henry. Ambrose came out, open challenge. We've been, they've said, all through the episode that Mark Henry was returning, Bingus, and he returned here. Mm-hmm. Obviously he hasn't been defending it much. Straightforward match though, with Henry kind of controlling until the DQ. But it's what happened after the match though, which was amazing. Wyatts come out, they slow build the beef, which was kind of cool. How good was this a build for the pay-per-view?
Yeah, man, it's done really well. To be honest, when you've got tag teams, I feel like you can have a bit of like a clusterfuck going on, but you got 2 3-man tags here, which should really be difficult to control, especially with WWE right in it. But no, they're doing a good job, keeping me interested. I don't know if it's just my intrigue in the Wyatts that's got me so into it or not. Hard to say, but I'm fully into it. It's one of the matches I'm actually looking forward to, and it's not going to end at the match. Something's going to happen afterwards, whether it's like Reigns breaking out, whether it's a complete disbandment of the Shield, or there's a number of things that could happen, and I'm looking forward to the match and seeing where it goes afterwards. It's not going to just be like a dead fish in the water here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Steve, how strong did Roman Reigns look stepping into the ring first, man?
Yeah, he's coming across as the leader of the Shield, isn't he? I think that's a good move. I think the biggest guy in the stable should be the leader.
Mm-hmm. Shugs, man, what's WWE doing with Henry, man? I mean, he's being fed to these guys. First F5 by Brock, now spear by Reigns.
Yeah, they just using him to put people over, like, really, obviously he's had the Hall of Pain and he's coming looking like a beast and stuff like that in the past. So if you can take it Mark Henry, then you're going to look good, but it's not really doing much for him at the moment.
We just really want him to be mad again. Just Hall of Pain, just be mad and just mess people up. Just be vexed. You know what I mean?
I think gone are the days, man. I think, when a wrestler reaches a certain year in their career, they become, like Shugs says, just like, not quite enhancement, but they're there to make other people look good. They're not there for the titles. Maybe they've been there long enough, they're not even there for the money or like the fame anymore. They're there to standardly do their job. And jobbing is their job. I don't think we're going to see like a career renaissance from Henry again now.
Sad times, man, sad times. Alright, let's move on, but before we go into the final segment 10, just want to quickly mention the Divas. Exana, WWE, okay? Now, we've heard that Naomi has suffered a broken orbital bone. A fractured orbital bone. She could have damage to her sight, bruv, right? From this knee that Exana gave to her. So we roll round, we get this Divas match, and lo and behold, Exana's in the ring again. And she's allowed to do the same knee that busts up Naomi's face. What kind of... And bear in mind, yeah, WWE giving you no health insurance. What the hell? Come on now, man. What kind of stupidness is this? You're going to make this girl knee some next girl in the face again. Guys, I don't.
Yeah.
I simply don't know what that's about.
You can't take knees out of wrestling. Like you know, cases with like the pile driver, and I'm sure there's names that I can't think of right now. A few other moves that not allowed to do anymore for safety's sake. But you're not going to be able to take a knee away. But what you could do is get rid of her, and no one will care.
Yeah. Another thing I want to quickly mention. Sugs Kane's role, like in this feud, it's a bit confusing because Brian King comes out and starts apologizing for whatever. Daniel Bryan runs down, starts kicking him, up and whatever. But it's a bit confusing. What's your thoughts on Kane's involvement?
Well, first of all, he was like Kane who didn't really do anything, and now he's slowly been like sort of reintroduced into storylines rather than just standing around doing anything. But obviously, he was going to be doing something with Punk, so it looks like they're moving something to do with Bryan, Maybe this week they're going to get Christian out of the chamber and put Kane in.
Yes.
But I think something like that maybe is going to happen. Some way for this Kane and Daniel Bryan feud to continue. Because I think, obviously, after Chamber, there's nowhere for him to fight. There's no pay-per-view. So unless they're going to have a Raw match. So I think he's going to be involved some way. Maybe in causing Bryan, not to win the Chamber.
Interesting.
But I think, that's what he is. He's basically just hired muscle, again.
It leads dangerously into Kane versus Bryan at Mania, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, kind of. But I just hope we don't see that. I doubt they'll give that to Daniel Bryan. Well, we don't know, innit, man. WWE's just taking a piss right now anyway. But, yeah. Let's go and talk about this rubbish match, this bloody Cena versus Orton 2025. Steve, what's your views on the match compared to the other 3,000 we've seen?
Yeah, same match as they always have, really. You can't get excited about Cena or Orton anymore. There's nothing really wrong with the matches. If this was the first or second time we'd seen Cena and Orton in like 10 years or whatever, yeah, it'll be a perfectly good match, but you just can't get into it. And I still can't understand why Cena isn't bothered about the Wyatts costing him the title with the Rumble. It's been like nearly a month now.
Don't you remember?
And he's still like, okay, that's fine.
No, he did care. He's already shrugged his shoulders and smiled. He's done that. It's done.
That's all he does. Never mind, maybe next time.
Yeah.
To be fair, this match they've had was like Orton. I think he was a lot more crowd responsive. I don't think he let the crowd like hijack the show. Like he kept like every now and again he kept like leaning out the ropes, giving a shout out, and like getting involved a bit more. I think because the match itself, like Steve says, on paper, like they're not the worst guys in the ring by far, and they know how to keep a crowd entertained. So unfortunately, we don't want to see them two together. But Orton especially done quite a good job, I think, on keeping the crowd involved in the match, and well done to that, I guess.
Yeah, because the CM Punk chat seem to be kind of wavering out, but they're coming to Chicago soon, so I'm hearing that they're proper scared about that. Like they don't know what's gonna do, but apparently they're gonna may bring Taker or Hogan.
Be trouble.
Yeah, but Sugs, after draping DDT from the top rope, Orton starts switching on the crowd.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I think it's good, like, obviously, because the crowd are, like, giving him some shit. So, like, remember the last time when he was just about to go into snake mode, he just, like, flipped the bird to the crowd, like, it was so obvious. So now, he's just fucking ranting at them. And it just makes him look, like, more crazy, Because they come off as Orton being this unhinged character. So, just go with it, innit?
Go with it. Obviously, Orton loses again. Bingus, why should we even care about this guy, like, as champion if everyone is beating this guy?
No, not Christian.
Well, except for Christian, but still. But, like, he's got Kofi. We got Kofi. We got Cena. We got Bryan. And we'll talk about it in Smackdown 60 seconds, but he loses again. Like, why should we care? Why should we care about you, Orton? Because you're very robotic in the ring right now, and it's kind of starting to bore me. Or not starting, he's bored before a while, but I don't know, I just feel like he needs to do something different, man. Right, let's just, let me just do a quick head count. Bingus, you there? Bingus?
No, you think he's gone?
I thought so, because it went kind of quiet. Let me just call this guy back in. Anyway, that's the end of Raw. That's the end of Raw, people. Raw rating then, please. Steve.
I thought it was quite a good show. Lot of stuff going on. Good build to Elimination Chamber. The Shield and the Wyatts face-off was just brilliant. And yeah, I'll give it a 7.
Give it a 7. Okay. Shugs.
6.5, I would say. Better than last week. I don't think it did enough for me to get a 7.
Unfortunately, Bingus is having some technical difficulties, so we will get him back online in a second and get his Raw rating. Alright, so Raw feedback. Shugs, I'll start with Brendan's banters. Brendan seems to be here in the UK. Yeah, Brendan's he's had his surgery on his mouth. Obviously, people's heard he's got shot in the face. Unfortunately, so yeah, he's in the UK gonna get some surgery, and he's been staying with James Powers. So yeah, here we go from Brendan. UK Special Edition. I'm over here having a good time. You have crazy weather though. Laugh out loud. Wyatts versus CodyDust. Cody Rhodes and Mysterio. I see Bray. Alright, sorry, let's just add Bingus back in. I see Bray was on the day released from Bellevue again. Fandango versus Santino. Emma was prompted to the main roster. Emma was promoted to the main roster. The music. I'll start again. Emma was promoted to the main roster. There was music, dancing, and fanfare. But now she has been partnered with Santino, and the WWE Universe are in despair. Christian and Sheamus about time versus the Real Americans. Oh, I see Christian has an injury again. Del Rio versus Ziggler. I feel for Ziggler. Ziggler's everyday plight. 12 months ago, this would have been one hell of a fight. Usos versus RybAxel. If Axel gets if Axel gets any more drier, the government will start charging him carbon tax. Ambrose versus Henry. Why did they even ring the bell? We knew from the start that Henry wouldn't end well for Henry. Bella's the Divas match. It makes a change for Cameron to be on top of the Divas because she is usually on top of someone else. Kane and Bryan. Now, what would Dr. Shelby think of this? Orton versus Cena. Again, we get Randy versus Cena. Oh, look, the WWE does know how to empty an arena. 6 out of 10.
Alright, the M Cook. Great 6-man match with Wyatts and Mysterio and Rhodes Brothers. Bray Wyatt hit a fantastic looking 6 to Abigail, mid 619. About time versus Real Americans. Very entertaining match and had the crowd helped a lot. Del Rio defeated former World Heavyweight Champion Dolph Ziggler with a super kick. Then Batista came out in ring gear, destroyed Del Rio. I like how they booed him coming out and cheered after he put Del Rio through the table. Triple H told Batista that things have changed and they are a publicly traded company now. If somebody wrote that for Triple H to say, he should give them a pedigree. They went public in 1999. Batista left in 2010. Stupid. Lita in the Hall of Fame. S.A. Rios should induct her. Betty White outsmarted Billy Gunn with the T and gave Gunn the shits. Nice to see a stayed in between Uso and Road Dogg. The Usos seem to be getting the next shot at the titles. Not the Mark Henry look bad. I think WWE should not have brought him back this soon. Fantastic confrontation between the Wyatts and the Shield. Both groups look strong and I can't wait for the match. Cameron pinned Oksana with a stiff looking DDT. That's what you get when you need someone in the eye. Great match. A lot better than Rumble. Crowd was better here. I would edit the Rumble DVD and have this Raw crowd for all the Orton Cena. Good show and the build's getting better for Elimination Chamber. Main event was good. Crowd was better than I thought it would have been for that match. Rating 7.5.
Okay. Alright. Joshua Smith is back again. Great segment from Brian. Doesn't always do well, but did hear the crowds, and they were being amazing. Asshole of Triple H clearly proves they want him though. What's went on with the entrances for 6 tag? So rushed. That Sister Abigail, incredible. Love Shield promo with Renee Young. Bad use of Emma, but I hate her anyway, so no loss to me. What? Miz out again. Hopefully, it's a team forming with Ziggler. Cesaro is so over. Definitely need to make him face, and always he's worked well in the ring. Trust Cena to promote the network. Lita, well-deserved Hall of Famer. Love the face of Between the Shield and Wyatt. The face-off between the Shield and Wyatt. Wish Ambrose had lost the title though. Would be good for like Alexander Rusev to debut or one of the Shield. But still, love Bryan kicking King's ass. Don't get why it was done, but it's always happy to see Bryan. Missed input from Punk. WWE definitely need him back. 7 out of 10.
Which one did you read then?
Joshua Smith, piece of email.
Okay. Alright, so Clara O. Bray Wyatt against Mysterio and all those. Good opener. Nice blind tag. Fandango with Summer Rae against Santino. Emma looked nice. About Time versus Real Americans could have been better. Alberto Del Rio against Dolph Ziggler. Why is Ziggy losing in 2 minutes? Usos against RybAxel. Another great performance from the Uso brothers. Ambrose against Henry. Mark Henry selling the bad arm well. Shield and the Wyatts confrontation. I noticed Reigns showed no fear. Divas. Why does Cameron think she is it? She is at the bottom of the Divas pile. Kane and Bryan. It's weird to see him fighting. Orton against Cena. It was a good match. I think it's just no one cares for it anymore. Raw rating 6 out of 10.
Okay. Head of Fan Relations, James Powers. Okay, does anyone really care who the authority thinks is the face of the company from a storyline standpoint? Good opening match, real crowd pleaser. Who can stop the buzzers? Shield backstage, the big push for rings is underway. They didn't really follow up in a meaningful way last week. Please tell me they didn't call Emma up to be Santino's sidekick. One can only hope that it's more about starting a singles feud with Summer Rae than an odd pairing with the mixed tag matches. A boat time match, quick paced match, makes sense for Swagger to take the pin. Del Rio seems to be bringing in the intensity lately. Unfortunately, it comes at the wrong time as he's clearly being made the fall guy for Batista. Hall of Fame, the video introduced Lita as the newest member of the Hall of Fame. The Usos, RybAxel could match some flyers from the Usos, and the Outlaws ain't funny. Oh look, Ambrose lost by DQ again. Shield and Wyatt's good confrontation. Crowd wanted to see it. The Divas match, moving on, it don't deserve comment. Oh, okay. Moving on, it don't deserve comment. Kane heads to the ring, and he said that he was placed on 1 week administration leave. When does it start? It's hard to get excited about Bryan versus Kane feud, considering where most fans feel Bryan should be right now. And the main event, take 686. It was a good match as usual. It's just no one really cares about seeing this shit anymore. 5 out of 10, dismal. Okay,
Axel Mulligan. The Wyatt family looks strong, again in a really good opening match. That sister Abigail was fucking insane. Bray is by far my favourite star in the WWE right now. About Time against Real Americans was another good match. Looks like the push for Cesaro is imminent. Glad to see you got a smaller make the mic time before the match. Dolph Ziggler must have really pissed someone off to lose to Alberto in 2 minutes. It's a shame for Alberto to be jobbing to Batista at the Elimination Chamber. Usos against RybAxel was decent as well. Shame no one gives a shit about RybAxel. Finally, the US title has been defended. I think it does need to change hands because it's no good putting on a guy who's always in tag matches. This would have been the ideal time with Matt coming back and him to defend it at Elimination Chamber and Mania. The Shield's Wyatts face-off reminded me a lot of Austin Tyson in '98. Just waiting to see which team blinked first. Divas match sleeping. Kane's segment was pretty cool. I'd rather see them go against each other than Mania than Triple H and Bryan, just because of their history. Orton and Cena was decent, just a shame for WWE they think we care. Unless you're 7-year-olds, no one gives a shit about seeing this match for the millionth time. Decent show on the whole. The in-ring action was better and it's been on Raw for a long time. 7 out of 10.
Okay. Alright then, people. We're going to go on a break now. So we'll be back in a sec with Smackdown in 60 seconds, Sugs Stunners, general feedback, and in the words of, it's a great one, so don't miss it.
Be sure to listen to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast.
What?
Every Sunday with Kinny Killa and the Galdem Sugar Sugs.
Yes!
With all the news, views, and laughter that you want.
They like jet airplanes. They like long limousines.
Every Sunday, the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast on Podomatic, iTunes, and YouTube.
So why don't you choke on that, slap nut?
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast. It is I, Kinny Killa, and I'm here with the Galdem Sugar Sugs,
Yo.
King Bingus, Steve Dawson, and myself, the Top Rope Elbow. We get it on, we getting it going. So right now we're going to go into Smackdown in 60 seconds, so roll with it, Sugs.
Okay, so we get a boot time again, and Bryan this time versus the Shield. It's a back and forth match with the Shield looking strong, bodies flying everywhere, and then we get an accidental bro kick on Christian and the Shield win. Fandango versus the Miz. Johnny Curtis is a fucking lunatic. He just comes there and he's shaking his ass, he's gyrating all over the place. The guy is fucking nuts. We get some piped in crowd noise for Miz. Then Emma and Santino comes down. Emma just fucks up Summer Rae, just takes her down, starts beating her head on the floor. And then we get a Cobra to Fandango and the Miz wins. Byron Saxton and Cesaro backstage. There's a piece of tape over where it said Tony on his jacket because now he's only known as Cesaro. Henry versus Ray versus Kofi versus Swagger, fatal 4-way, #1 contender for the IC title, and Patriot lock on Ray for the win. So Swagger is the #1 contender. Usos and Rhodes versus New Age Outlaws and RybAxel. The Usos are like flying everywhere, doing their blind tags. One of the Usos goes over the corner post to take everyone out from the outside, and the Usos win. Darren Young against Sandow. Titus on commentary comes out, gives Michael Cole tic-tacs. Young wins, and then Titus attacks him from behind, but Young turns the tables and then rips one of the legs off his trouser suit. So he's just stood there with just one trouser leg on, which is quite funny. Then we have Orton against Cesaro. Orton fakes a shoulder injury and then comes back with a clothesline. Then we get a big swig on Orton. Orton reverses a neutralizer. Then we get like a spinning uppercut and a neutralizer for the pin. And fade to black. Cesaro wins.
Cesaro takes it down. Yes. Pity it couldn't have been on Raw. Alright. Sugs Stunners.
Okay, so jobber of the week just can only be our man Ziggy. You know, former world heavyweight champion, just losing in 2 minutes, and just shit, really. Shit. Move of the week. I'm gonna have to give it to Cesaro. Just either for the uppercut on Orton or just for the neutralizer on Orton, but you know, and a double whammy rest of the week. Cesaro, he dropped the Antonio and now he's getting pushed. So Cesaro, do your thing.
Do your thing. Do your thing. Okay, my man Cesaro. All right. There's no general feedback this week because people have just generally been talking about the situation that had happened on the message board. Other than that, I've been replying to the messages, so people have just been asking about how our message board has been, turned a bit more fancy, and we're getting more Twitter followers. And all I can say is that's thanks to our head of fan relations, James Powers. That's why he's part of the team. All right. So that is the end of the show, people. Really good show. Once again, when I have the best tag team in the world on, they just get that shit done. They get that shit done. We're still waiting for Jace and Bingus to be together. It was meant to happen today, but he fell off the ladder, so, people still saying that you're the same person, but, yeah, I don't know. All I can say is, thanks to Bingus, this is probably, going to be the last time in a while we probably have him on the show, because he's got to go back to work, but we're trying to sort something out.
Oh yeah, I can't be away too long. I can say I've just seen a tweet from Matt Hardy. It's a picture of Matt Hardy being Fat Hardy in a red shirt, standing in front of all his own action figures of Matt Hardy, holding a sign saying you don't understand how hard it is to be Matt Hardy. Shut up.
What is he on? Oh, I can see this now. I can see this. You're a dick. You're a dick.
More fool you two for following Matt Hardy. That's right.
I don't follow him. I just wrote in Matt Hardy in the search engine, and it's there.
I just seen it retweeted by Kinny, so I just.
Shut up, my little lie. But no, man, it's always good to have you on the show, man. You're part of the furniture, bro, and I'll holler at you to make sure that you're back on the show in a couple of weeks. All right.
Definitely, man. Sooner better than later.
And also, Master of the Top Rope Elbow. Come on, man. Come on. Next time we see Steve Dawson, it's going to be the showdown. It's going to be the showdown. March 16th. Him and James. What can I say, Steve? Always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Always a pleasure to be on, especially with my tag team partner.
And I cannot do this without the Galdem Sugar Shakes, the hashtag Tech Guy that has now got us on Stitcher Radio. Stitcher Radio. Stitcher Radio? Come on, man. Actually, I've just got some breaking news. I have just got some breaking news from Nick Meltzer McGee. Okay, breaking news. At WWE, dragging their feet signing at Sting to a contract. At CM Punk, been dragging his feet performing since WrestleMania 29. Ooh. And also, developing story. MVP does not have an official contract with TNA. Well, Negro, keep your spot. Hashtag food stamps line as plan B. Frank Nick Meltzer McGee, he'll be on soon. He will actually be on for the showdown with Steve and James Powers. And as I was saying, cannot do this without the hashtag Tech Guy, the Welsh Wizard himself, who has now got us on the Stitcher Radio. Shugs.
It's a pleasure.
Bad man ting. Okay, so, in the words of this week is by The Rock, fully loaded, 1999, just before he faces Triple H in a strap match. So, in the words of The Rock, Michael Cole, know your role and shut your mouth. Nice shirt, 25 cents. The Rock says, Triple H, you go on Sunday Night Heat, and you know a little bit about your interview with Jim Ross. You're crying like a baby. Yeah, they kept me at the bottom of the barrel for 5 years. For 5 years, they kept me at the bottom of the barrel. Well, The Rock says they didn't keep you at the bottom of the barrel just because you wanted to say bye to your Rudy Poo friends at Madison Square Garden. No, The Rock says they kept you at the bottom of the barrel because you absolutely suck. And on top of all that, The Rock says that you run your mouth in 4 weeks, 28 days. I'm going to SummerSlam, and I'm getting what I want, the WWF title. Well, The Rock says in 28 seconds, The Rock is going to give you exactly what you don't want. And that is The Rock taking that strap, turning it sideways, and sticking it straight up your candy ass. The Rock says he is the people's champ. The Rock says he is the people's choice, and The Rock is, without a shadow of a doubt, the most electrifying man in sports entertainment, period. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, and you can choke on that slap nuts. Woo!